What if I told you that your 200 engaged followers are worth more than someone else's 20,000? This isn't a feel-good consolation prize. It's an actual business fact. Stay tuned and I'll explain why. Welcome to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost with me, Charly Leetham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and I'll break them down into bite-sized tips you can use straight away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Rise and Shine, it's your business tech boost with me, Charly Leetham. Episode number 681. It's Mindset Monday, and I'm going to be talking about why you don't need a massive following to build a successful business. This episode's come about because I had someone contact me the other day. It was a friend, and they were asking me off the book, so to speak, how they build their social media following so that they can get some sponsorship for what they're doing. I gave them some ideas, but it did get me thinking about, as a business, is follower count really that important to us? So let's have a chat about it and see what comes up. The first thing we're going to cover, though, is the vanity metric trap. Follower counts feel like a scoreboard. The bigger the number, the more successful we must be, right? That's what we've been conditioned to think. A follower count is just a number, though. It tells you nothing about whether those people trust you, whether they're going to buy from you, or even if they remember who you are. Social platforms are designed to make you chase numbers. The more followers means the more time you have to spend on their platform. There's more content generated. There's more ad revenue for them. The entire interface is built to make you feel like you're behind. The follower count sits right there at the top of your profile, front and center, and it is impossible to ignore. That's not an accident. But here's something that is worth knowing. A large following with low engagement is actually a red flag, not something to aspire to. Brands, potential collaborators, and savvy buyers can see the ratio. 10,000 followers and 12 likes per post tells a story, but it's not a flattering one. Now, sponsors. Let's talk about sponsors because that was where this came from. There's a common belief that to attract sponsors, you need big numbers. And yes, some will throw follower thresholds at you. But the smart ones, the ones worth working with, want buyers. They want an audience that acts. A tightly engaged audience of 500 people who regularly purchase based on recommendations is far more attractive to a good sponsor than 50,000 people who scroll past without stopping. If a sponsor only cares about your follower count and nothing else, that tells you something about whether they're worth your time. Then there's the cost of chasing followers, the time spent creating content purely for reach, the money spent on ads to boost numbers, the mental energy of watching the count go up by 3 and down by 2 and up by 5 and down by 7. That's a significant investment for a metric that doesn't pay your bills. Every hour you spend chasing followers is an hour not spent serving the customers you already have. Now, an engaged audience is one that actually shows up. They open your emails, they comment, they share, they reply. They're paying attention. That attention is the thing you're actually trying to earn. A passive audience, people who followed you once and haven't thought about you since, give you nothing. Not attention, not sales, not referrals. In fact, that small audience that likes what you've got, that shares what you've got, will get your content out to a larger audience naturally. It's organic. Now, I want you to think about your own buying behavior here. Would you take a recommendation from someone you trust or from a stranger with a lot of followers? I think some of us actually do the latter, but I really want you to think about whether you should or not. Trust drives purchasing decisions, and trust is built through consistent, genuine connection, not through posting volume or follower acquisition campaigns, not from buying your followers either. 200 people who genuinely trust your expertise will generate more business than 20,000 who vaguely recognize your name. Referrals come from relationships and not audiences. This is something that we do know. When someone in your community recommends you to a friend, that comes from a real interaction. A conversation in the comments, a helpful reply, a piece of content that genuinely solved a problem. That doesn't scale with follower count. It scales with how well you served the people already in your world. The algorithms have also shifted. Reach used to be about size. Now it's about engagement rate. A post that gets strong engagement from a small audience will often outperform a post from a large account that generates no interaction. The platforms are rewarding content that people actually respond to, which means a small, engaged audience can give you better organic reach than a bloated, passive one. Smaller audiences are also just easier to serve well. You can actually read the comments, you can respond to messages, you can notice what resonates and what doesn't. That feedback loop alone helps you create better content, better offers, and better products. It's a genuine competitive advantage. It is definitely not a consolation prize. So what do you need to focus on? Let's talk about that. I've spoken about all the things that it follow account means and engagement means, but what do you need to focus on? You should start measuring what actually moves your business forward. Clicks through to your website, replies to your emails, inquiries, bookings, sales, the actionable things that your customers can do that are going to turn into dollars eventually for you, or may turn into dollars eventually for you. These are the numbers that tell you whether your content is working. If your follower count is flat, but your bookings are up, you're doing something right. Don't let that vanity metric convince you otherwise. As much as you look at it and go, gee, I wish it would go higher, don't let it convince you otherwise if your content is doing what it needs to do. Create content for the people who are following you already. Don't try to attract strangers. This is a significant mindset shift. Sorry, I'm still recovering, and every now and again my brain just goes, bleh. Let's try that. Most content advice is about growth, how to reach new people, but the people already in your audience have chosen you. They raise their hand, serve them well, and the growth takes care of itself through referrals and reputations. If you can get them to like, share, or comment on your content, that gets out into their network, people who theoretically have similar interests or similar problems to them. Regardless of what else you're doing, working on social media is fine, but make sure you are building your email list. This is the one audience you actually own. Social platforms can change their algorithm, they can restrict your reach, or they can disappear entirely, and there's nothing you can do about it. Your email list is absolutely yours. Nobody can take it away from you. If you're putting all your energy into social media followers and nothing into your list, you're building on rented land. I need to take some of my own advice here, but there we go. Show up consistently rather than performing for numbers. Consistency builds trust. Showing up every week, even to a small audience, signals that you are reliable, that you're still in business, that you're worth paying attention to. Sporadic bursts of high volume content followed by silence does the absolute opposite. It makes you look unpredictable, and unpredictable does not inspire confidence. Finally, give yourself permission to stop chasing and start serving. The pressure to grow your following is real. I cannot dispute that. And it comes from everywhere. But the business case for a massive following is much weaker than the platforms would have you believe. If you shift your energy from acquisition to service, genuinely helping the people already in your world, the results are going to follow. That's not a motivational poster. That's just how trust-based businesses work. Alrighty, so what did you think, guys? Have I raised more questions than I've answered? I kind of hope so. It's how we learn and grow. It's also how I can serve you better by having you ask me these questions. What do you think about follower numbers versus engagement numbers versus being able to serve who's already following you versus chasing to get new people in. Have you tried it? How are you doing it? What happened? What went wrong? What didn't work? What went right for you? I'd really love to know your own experiences. I'd love to know your own thoughts on this. So leave comments wherever you're watching or listening to this video. Now, if this video was useful, or this episode, I should say, was useful to you, I would love a like. And maybe you could share this with a friend or a business colleague who needs to hear this as well. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button now and ring that bell so you find out when I drop more content. And of course, if you need any help with this sort of stuff, I'm here to help. If you haven't already booked your free 30-minute breakthrough session, you can do that by visiting my website, askcharlyleetham.com, and clicking the button on the top right hand corner or you can reach out to me and book more time with me if you've already had your breakthrough session. I'd love to help, and I am here to hire to help you guys do all this stuff as well. All right, guys, I will see you next time for Wednesday, Walkthrough Wednesday. And in the meantime, have a great week. Bye. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlyleetham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.